again and welcome to the Laughter Crafter. It's really good to be with you again. Well, last week you may remember that we did some paint pouring. Well, I did, maybe you've done some as well. And I did a paint pour on a Lazy Susan that I actually previously had done a paint pour on, but I wanted to change up the colour because I have quite a bit of red in this area of my house, and I wanted to put this Lazy Susan with red paint on it into this area on my dining table. So that's what I did. I did upload it onto YouTube last week, but I didn't check it properly and only a few minutes of it went up. So I've reloaded it up onto YouTube and you can see the entire thing now and see how to do that paint pour. And on the weekend I also added on a coat of resin and hardener, which you also pour on top, and it takes about 48 hours to dry. So here it is, all finished. Hopefully it's showing up and not too sort of glary and shiny, but it really is shiny. It's a lovely hard surface that is going to serve me for many years, and lots of gorgeous cells in there from that paint pour. So if you didn't have a go at a paint pour, I hope that you will do that. This week I've got something a little bit different to that, much different in fact, and it's something for my little granddaughter who turns 4 next week. She's really into art and her daddy has bought her some watercolor pencils for her birthday, and so I thought I would make her a little something to keep her special pencils in. So I've made her a pencil case, and the craft that I'm going to demonstrate this week isn't how to make the pencil case actually. It's how to decoupage with napkins onto fabric using fabric glue. So here's what I've made, and this is what I'm going to show you how to make. It spells out Vera in different paper napkins. So it's really cute. On the back it says made with love by Gigi. So I've got a whole bunch of little things that I'm putting together for her birthday. So this is a really simple and fun craft to do, and didn't take me long at all. So here is the limerick that goes with this week's craft. I do like to do decoupage on a small thing or even a large. I made this for Vera. I think it will cheer her and help her store her things and take charge. There we go, that's the limerick. Now, the joke before we get on with it. My neighbour wanted to talk to me about fixing up my poor security habits. And I said to him, sure, my door's always open. Let's get on with making something crafty. So I've gathered the bits and pieces together that I'm going to need to make this napkin decoupaged pencil case for my little granddaughter Vera. I've just made this pencil case for her. I did have one ready to give her that was all brightly coloured on the outside, but if I'm going to decoupage this with paper napkins, you really need a plain light coloured background so that these don't all get sort of muddied. And I have made it bright and pretty on the inside. She loves pink, so I think she'll love the little flamingos on the inside. This isn't a sewing channel, so I'm not going to demonstrate how to make this. It was dead easy. If you are a sewer and you're not sure how to put in a zipper or make a pencil case, plenty of YouTube channels can show you how to do that. So that was really easy. It took me about 15 minutes. That's ready to go. I've also got fabric glue, which is what I'm going to use to apply these napkin pieces onto the fabric. I've got a lovely assortment here, so I'll make my choices. I think I'll use different colours, and I've decided to do her name, Vera, in 4 different little pieces of the napkin. I've also got the fabric glue. I've got a damp little Chucks fabric cloth there. I've got a pencil to draw the letters of her name onto the back of these pieces of napkin. I've got a brush there. It's just an old brush. I'm going to use that to use that on the back of the napkins. I'm also going to use it to apply the glue. So that's everything that I need. It will be handy to have a pair of paper scissors as well. I've got some fabric markers here as well that I think I may use on the finished product, but we'll see. So these are the 4 pieces of paper napkin that I've chosen, and on the back I have in pencil marked out a V and an E and an R and an A, and you'll see that I've done them backwards because obviously they're going to be turned over that way. So if you are going to do anything like lettering, then make sure on the back you do them backwards. So what I'm going to do now is take my paintbrush, and where did I put it? Oh, here it is, right down here. So I hope that you can see those pencil marks there. I didn't want to do them in pen in case the pen bled through to the right side. So I'm going to take these pieces of napkin and a brush that I've just wet, and I'm going to run that brush just along the pencil line. Not perfectly, because remember, we don't go for perfection, we go for good. And so you'll see that that's marked out. And what I'm going to do is just tear roughly along that pencil line. It's going to be jaggedy, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. If you don't like that jagged, feathery look, then use scissors and cut it out perfectly. But I think this will look great. So there's our V, and the V is going to go right there. I'm probably going to sort of stagger the letters down like that to squash them all in. Lucky she has got a name like Vera and not Annabella, because that would be a really big pencil case. Okay, there's the V. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same with the other letters. So I'm down to the A now. There's the R and the E. You'll see that I've actually erred on the side of larger lettering, because I can always rip a little bit more off if it's too big. But I think this will be quite effective. I really have fond memories of picking out these particular paper napkins. I travel quite a bit, and when I was traveling through the Baltic states last year, I went to a beautiful little craft shop in Tallinn in Estonia, and they had a great selection of these paper napkins. So I bought quite a few of them, just one of several different designs, and knew that they would come in handy to do something one day, and here I am using them now. So there we go. Now once we have roughly, quite roughly, torn these into their correct shape, the next thing to do is to take off the backing layer. So I will do that now. So I've done E, R and A. You can see there's the backing off there, and I'm just carefully taking the backing paper off the V. And so what we're left with is just one ply of these paper napkins instead of the double ply. It just makes for better adhesion, and yeah, it just is better for this napkin fabric decoupage. So there we go. I've got the V, E and the R and the A. So I'm going to place them first and just be sure that I'm happy. If they don't quite fit, then I will make the letters a little bit smaller. But let's have a look. I could even overlap them actually, which I may do. It might be actually quite cute to overlap them. Now I'm not happy with that E, it's too long there, so I'm just going to rip that there a little bit, make it look a bit more E-ish. Is that a word? E-ish? It is now. The E. Let's tuck that R under that E, like so. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to move that right across, move that across, move that across, take a bit more of that E off. And how's that? What do you think? I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so now we're going to start with the fabric glue. This is a white glue. It dries clear. It's water-based, but it is made for gluing on fabric. So that if I was doing this napkin decoupage onto, say, a t-shirt or something that's going to be thrown into the wash a lot, this is exactly what you need, this fabric glue, because it is going to, these aren't just going to fall off like they would with some other kind of glue. It needs to be fabric glue. So I'm just going to dip my brush, the same brush as I used before. You can move out of the way, little E. And I'm going to anchor that V like that with my hand and just go like this. So you want a generous amount of this glue on, and don't worry about going outside the margins of that letter. It's okay. It is going to dry clear and it's going to be fine. It's actually going to give it better adhesion. So fold that one back and do the same on this side, and then I'll lift up the bottom and do that. Okay, here we go. And if you've missed a bit, you can just lift that tissue paper up, that napkin paper up, and go directly onto it like so, and down again. Now, I've talked about this before. When you are applying something like, well, like this, paper onto fabric, and you're decoupaging, oopsie daisy, don't spill your glue, then you want to get an even surface tension. And so that's why I always recommend painting glue over the top of the image as well as the glue that is gluing it down to give you an even surface tension. And now again, if you're going to do this, it works perfectly well on a t-shirt. You would want to, first of all, use a light colored t-shirt for the reasons I talked about before, but also you would want to wash the t-shirt very well first to get any size out of it. Not size as in, you know, small, medium, large, but the powdery substance that they put in t-shirts to, I don't know, make it t-shirty. I know that's very technical, but just go with it. Okay, so there we go. Whoopsie daisy. Try not to stick your arm down with the paper. And if you get a little wrinkle in it, that's okay. I think I have got plenty of glue underneath that V, plenty of glue on top of the V. It's all going to dry clear and it's going to be fabulous. Now where's my E? Yeah, I think I'll go over the top with the E. Well, I have to now, don't I? So let's just sit this here. Maybe go up a touch like that. Hold it like this, and I'm going to continue on and you can watch me do it in super speedy motion. So here are the decoupage letters all dry, and it looks pretty good. I think what I'd like though is for the letters to be a little bit more distinct and standing out, especially this one down here on the end, the A, because it's got some really light color here and it kind of disappears into the background a bit. So I'm going to grab these fabric markers and perhaps just go around these letters a little bit and yeah, make them stand out a bit more. So I'm just sort of going to put some dots around the outside, like so. Well, here's the finished product, and it's pretty cute. Made with love by Gigi. And I think Vera is going to really enjoy this. Her daddy has brought her some watercolor pencils for her birthday coming up, and so she can keep them in this. So there you go. That's the little pencil case that I did the napkin decoupage on. It's very, very simple and inexpensive, and as I said, you could do this on a t-shirt, but you would just need to wash the t-shirt because it needs to have the size out of it. So it was easy, it was fun, and I hope you will have a go at doing it, and I'll see you next week. Keep on laughing, keep on crafting. See you later.